Hello bitches and bastards. I have to comply with YouTube's stupid time limit video means, which means that I'm going to have to spank out some topical videos just so I can reach that elusive 20-minute mark and have some real YouTube wrestling fun. I'm going to answer a few questions by myself because I'm so cool. And one of them is, were Kevin Nash's comments about size in the WWE justified? What he basically said was that the wrestlers are all so small now. Back in his day, people used to take notice of the wrestlers when they come through the airport. They'd all be tall, imposing figures. Now there's just a bunch of midgets. Now, in Kevin Nash's defense, I actually can understand the fact that back in the day, a bunch of wrestlers would walk into a bar and everyone would fucking look at them. You go look at the late 80s and you have the likes of, Big John Studd, Andre the Giant, Giant Haystacks, or Hillbilly Jim, or whatever his name is, Hulk Hogan. These are all huge, imposing stars. Even in Diesel's day, you had the likes of Bam Bam Bigelow, Giant Gonzalez, The Undertaker, some really big, chunky men. And nowadays, we have the likes of Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler, and maybe Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, and, I understand where he's coming from, but quite frankly, in my opinion, I think wrestling has evolved. Gone are the days where people are quite satisfied with an Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan match. Now, I've got to say that's one of my favourite matches of all time, the main event of WrestleMania 3. But can you repeat that match over and over again? I don't think you can. I think, quite unfortunately, when Chris Benoit died, what was erased from the legacy of wrestling was a change in the zeitgeist, and that was around the late 90s when you had wrestlers such as Benoit and Jericho and Eddie Guerrero coming through. Shawn Michaels. Did the fans start to really get to see a different side of wrestling? And I think that people don't want to see a match between, Mark Henry and Big Show, a kind of slow-paced, methodological, psychological match. I think people want to see in-ring action. But to counter that, is in-ring technical action between two small guys really enough? One of the reasons why I love so much Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 is that they didn't even need to do much to create an exciting match. Just Andre the Giant standing in that ring was almost enough. He didn't need any fancy moves. Like, his physique and his presence did a lot, and I think that might be what Kevin Nash is alluding to. Now, I think Kevin Nash is a bit of a shitty wrestler in my opinion. I kind of like him in the NWO, but do we really want to see Kevin Nash for matches? Razor Ramon, he was also good, but was he really that good? I don't know, to be honest. Let you guys tell me what you think. Do you like in-ring between two guys, or do you like some monster stuff? Now, I was watching wrestling as a kid growing up, and I basically stopped watching wrestling for a long time, and then I got back into it, and then I really got back into it, and then I really started to know how the in-workings were. And before I was a really serious fan, the matches that enticed me the most were actually with the biggest stars. I really like the idea of Batista, Brock Lesnar, these big chunky motherfuckers beating the shit out of each other. That really excited me. And then when I watched plenty of matches and plenty of Batista matches and Great Khali or Big Show matches, did I then realise that actually they're not particularly entertaining? It was only after I saw, lots of Shawn Michaels matches, lots of Benoit and Jericho matches, that I really realised that actually, in-ring stuff is the way forward. Lots of luchador kind of stuff in ECW, that was far more entertaining than a Great Khali versus Vladimir Kozlov match. So, it's debatable, but I have to say, I think Nash has a point. There probably should be more bigger wrestlers around today, but again, the kind of zeitgeist of what wrestling matches are has changed, and I think that the perfect juxtaposition between the two styles would be HBK versus Undertaker that we've seen at WrestleMania, and that match, those two matches, really just suggests to me that both are equally as good. But really, it was the kind of HBK bullshit that really kind of made it a special match, whereas Undertaker versus Psycho Sid wasn't exactly entertaining. So, much as I respect what Kevin Nash says, and I would like to see more chunky guys, I think things have changed, and it's kind of all about the in-ring wrestling, although we still do need a bit of Ryback here and there. Feed me! No, I'm not going to go there, sorry.